Oh, people, right, as I talked about in my last point 5, and believe me, there will be a decent number of point 5s over the next large amount of battles, because I don't really think that when I recorded them, I was up to snuff and I was kind of pissed off with the whole team building thing. Because I'm, a grouchy person, and whenever I can't do things, I sort of keep running into it until it functions, and it took quite a while to function, so I'm going to try and spruce it up a bit. Anyway, as I said last time, I did make an Ubers team, because I did a white Nuzlocke roulette, and I got a Garchomp called Xavier, well, I got a Gabite, which I called Xavier. He was bold, so he was fucking awful, but I leveled him up to level 58 and he fucking demolished shit. So I figured, hey, I've never used a Chompy Chomp before. I always thought he was a bit outclassed in Ubers, which is kind of ironic because I think that, Bile Plume is something amazing in OU, but there you go. So that was kind of my viewpoint on it. I didn't think it'd be very good, but I figured, hey, better late than never, let's give it a go. So I'm going to lead off with my Dialga, and he's lead off with a Tyranitar. In his team preview, I saw Excadrill, and I was like, okay, I need to make sure I've got something in for that. I just go Toxic and Stealth Rocks because I want to make sure his Tyranitar can't just sit there forever. He just EQs and gets a crit on the second one and kills off my Dialga, which is a shame because Dialga is actually pretty nice. I mean, Toxic, T-Wave, Stealth Rocks, and Dragon Pulse is quite, it's good, it's beneficial. You get a lot of things statused, and it's pretty good. So, after that's happened, I'm going to bring in Pedro the Palkia, and this is a sub-punching Palkia, so I thought, oh, this will be a laugh. So it's got sub-punch, spatial rend, and hydro pump. Can't talk. So there you go, he's going to switch out, he's going to go into his Pharaoh, and this is lovely, this is why Ubers is good. In OU, Ferrothorn is an impenetrable wall of piss that needs to fuck off and die, because every time you bring in a fire type, it's like, run away! But now I have a focus punching Palkia, and yes, it is a 2-hit KO, and I was like, yeah, go Palkia! What a beast! So, I was quite chuffed with that. He misses one Power Whip, but as far as I'm concerned, that's just payback for the crit on Dialga, so, whatever. It happens. So I focus punch again, and there goes his Ferrothorn, which is just like, woohoo, yeah! Never, well, usually it's pretty difficult to kill, or sometimes I randomly decide I don't want to kill it, I want to make life harder, but, there you go. Just like in last match, where it was sitting there, for Entei to kill, but no. Anyway, now that the Pharaoh's gone, Pedro no longer has a sub, and he's going to bring in a Zekrom. However, I have Arceus Steel. A few of the things that I figured out about Ubers after playing it for a little bit. I tried playing it before, but I never really went on Smogon. But playing it like this, I realised one major thing. If you're not using Arceus, you're doing it wrong. Because everyone uses Arceus, like SD, Extreme Speed Arceus. I think the next battle's got an SD, Shadow Force Arceus. It's like, Jesus Christ! I know he's good, but steady on there. Anyway, his Zekrom is just sitting duck at the moment, so I'm going to get a Reflect up, and then I'm going to predict him to switch out. So I go and do Garchomp, and he switches into Heatran, which is just like, oh, that's not gone well, has it? Oh dear. And I know he isn't going to hang around because he's got lefties as well. He isn't even an air balloon. So I know he's going to switch out, so I'm just going to go for a Swords Dance. Make sure I'm +2, and this Garchomp's a bit funky. It's got Herban Berry, because I don't know about ice moves, but dragon moves are kind of like the thing. I figured that's the one problem he's going to have. If it's an ice move, like from a Kyogre, I'm not going to sit around for it, am I? But with a Herban Berry and a bit of special defense investment, I can hang around for it. He brings in an Arceus, and he goes for a Calm Mind, which confused the fuck out of me, because I'm going to go for an Earthquake and take him out, and it's actually Rock-type Arceus, it's just he hasn't done it right, because I had a thing the first match I played where basically, on Pokegen, it says, what form of Arceus you want? I went, Steel, I suppose, and then I forgot to put a Steel plate on it, so what I think he's done there is he's put normal, he wanted the normal form, but then he's put the rock plate on it, if that makes sense. It's kind of weird, Pokegen fucks it up a lot. In comes Excadrill, the one thing I was worried about, he EQs and it does nothing. I was like, what? Might want to get that Excadrill checked out there, buddy. See, yeah, I was like, what the fuck is wrong with it? You know, that doesn't look like something that should be banned. God, Bennett. I mean, the thing, like, Excadrill, Thunderous, and Chomp. Okay, Chomp is the biggest one. Alright, Excadrill you can kind of see, because it has twice the speed. I mean, it's like Mega Chlorophyll of Doom, and it gets SD and base, what, 130 attack? Okay, vaguely see it. It isn't that difficult to kill, but apparently people have problems, so whatever. Thunderous, Prankster, oh, okay, it's a bit of a pain in the ass to kill, I suppose. In my opinion, Vileplume or, Vileplume probably Wallet for days, or a good Venusaur, yeah. But Garchomp's always been the one that annoyed me. Whenever I used to play OU when it first came out and I battled Garchomps, I was always like, oh, this isn't difficult. I mean, yeah, okay, Sandvale is a pain in the dick. It always is gonna be, always will be. But you don't ban Gliscor because of Sandvale, do you? And, like, if the people had said, oh yeah, it was its typing, because I can understand that. Steel walls dragon, ground kills steel. That makes complete sense, and I'd understand it. But people said they didn't like it because of the sand veil. I was like, are you fucking kidding? You can't even take a miss. Is it? So yeah, I know Garchomp is beastly. It has some awesome attack and some pretty nice speed, but it can be killed. I don't know if they ran Fire Blast before. I mean, I know they ran Fire Blast in 4th gen, or at least I recall them doing so. But even then, there are things to wall it. And get a Wisp on there, I don't know. I mean, a good Crustle, I reckon, would wall a Garchomp. After an SD, it might get a bit dicey, but why not, you know? I don't know. That's me. I don't think it really should be Uber. I mean, in OU it's a jack of all trades. In Ubers it's sort of like, it's got the attack, but it hasn't really got the pace. I mean, when you look at I suppose it outspeeds Reshiram and Zekrom, but wow. Actually, I suppose the base... Well, it hasn't got DD, for instance, so if you want pace, you have to scarf it. Whereas something like Rayquaza is just like, oh, I DD up and I'm done. Yeah, that's it. You know, I mean, what? Rayquaza's got... Yeah. Rayquaza has base 150 attack and special attack. Really? So that's always kind of been my viewpoint on the whole Garchomp thing. People always just got pissy about it for no apparent reason. Anyway, this man's team looks a lot more, yeah. Got that Reshiram, the Rayquaza, Palkia, the Ho-Oh, the Groudon, and the Arceus. I'm not worried about the Groudon, or the Groudon, or the Don thing, yeah, the big dinosaur-looking bloke, because, I knew that killing Kyogres would be a problem, and I knew that killing Groudons would be a problem, and I don't want, like, Rocks up, and I don't want a fucking Carmine Kyogre fucking my shit up. So I made a Rayquaza that barely outspeeds, like, the defensive Groudon or the Carmine Kyogre, with a Dragon Gem, Outrage, and Draco. Dragon Gem Draco literally does 404 damage minimum to a Groudon, which is just like, yeah, loving that. Unless they run special defense investment, in which case it won't kill, but it'll get a bit closer. So yeah, that was my little plan. So Rayquaza doesn't DD, it just sort of hits things and then cheeses it. Which is what he's going to do now, as he brings in a Palkia, and I'm going to go to Ho-Oh, because Ho-Oh is like, oh lol, what, sun's up, what, you have Hydro Pump? Nah, Ho-Oh doesn't care, because it's so good. I swear, I love that. I like Vileplume as a special because of the utility and the fact that it has pretty decent physical bulk, but as a special, as a thing, an entity, for sponging hits, you really can't do much better than Ho-Oh. Freaking, what is it, 154 base special defense? I mean, what the fuck? I think that is the best in their game, isn't it? I might be mistaken. Maybe Deoxys D goes over that, but still! Deoxys D has like base 50 HP! Anyway, I knew the Sacred Fire was coming. I knew it was going to hit like a fucking train, but I figured I could take one. And I do. I T-Wave him so he is slow as piss, and now I get, 3 Stealth Rocks out of it. So that's just gone dandy. He is going to Sacred Fire and take me out, though, but it looks... I think he's... Nah, he's life orbed. Okay. Either way, I can now bring in, say, Palkia and kill him. So in comes Pedro. Pedro the Palkia. The first guy I battled with this said he read it as Pedo. I was like, no, not Pedo the Palkia. Duh. Anyway, I sub as he Roos. And I actually had a look at some Smogon sets for this crap. And it was like, Roost on... Ho-Oh, why? It's like, oh, well, you know, you get that boosted, you know, you aren't weak to rock or electric, I think was their reason for running Roost, but it's like, okay, but then you're also going to take a lot of EQs to the face, aren't you? I don't know. There's a lot of interesting things. Either way, he Brave Birds after I believe I Hydro Pumped, but he's going to switch out now and he's going to go into his own Palkia, who, like, mega duper, super duper resists the Hydro Pump. I mean, what? It times 4 resist it and Sun's Up. Yeah. Anyway, he's going to go Draco, take me out. I didn't really want to switch into Ho-Oh because I figured he would have something like Draco, and he looks either Scarfed or Specs. I don't want Ho-Oh to just have to come in and then get shat on, and then he just leaves, you know, and I have to recover. I lose a bit of utility. But I bring in Xavier because I know I've got the Herbanberry. He's going to be at -4 after this. He's going to go Draco. Herbanberry activates, and he gets a fucking crit. I'm like, oh no, Xavier! What are you doing? So, yeah, I wasted my Garchomp for nothing there. It wasn't my fault. I figured I'd be cool. I was going for Outrage then, or Dragon Claw. Anyway, I go into Radomir because I figured, hey, I'll probably be able to tank one now, and I'm just going to go for a Draco. Hit whatever the hell comes in. He brings in the Ho-Oh as Death Fodder. So that worked well. I'm quite happy with that, killing off that Ho-Oh. I think the main problem with Rayquaza is that unless you run DD, it's fucking impossible to use. It is so slow. It's not particularly frail, it's got nice HP, good defenses across the board, but everything in Ubers can kick its face in. In OU, or UU, say, its defenses and HP would be quite good, but because it has base 150 fucking attack and special attack, whoa, right up there. Anyway, I know he's going to go some vague form of dragon move, so I go into Abednego, my Arceus. I literally just looked up random names on a website for these things, by the way, so... Anyone want to tell me what language Abednego comes from? By all means, go for it. Anyway, I know he's locked in, but he gets confused, so after I reflect, he is going to switch into Reshiram, and it's like, oh, piss. I do go light screen, though, which does help massively. I really needed that. And I know he's going to go for a blue flare, and he's probably scarfed, because Reshiram, I think, has the same base speed as Rayquaza? Either way, I'm going into Radomir. He misses his fucking blue flare, and he's going to go for it again. And even with a light screen up, you see, that is, yeah, that's pretty good for having a light screen up. But I'm just going to go Draco, drop one on his face, and he's going to die, which is just peachy. So Radomir's doing some work right now. I'm pretty happy with Ratty the Rayquaza. However, I believe he's going to bring in, what is it, Shadow form? Yeah, Shadow form Arceus. And these things are fucking kicking the bollocks. Because all Arceuses have SD unless they're the Calm Mind variant, so I guess all of them don't have SD, but you get my point. I go into Ho-Oh because I wanted to Will-O-Wisp it. Or the last one I saw was Calm Mind as well, so I'm thinking, oh, maybe. And then my Reflect wears off. I'm like, no. He's gonna Shadow Force, I Wisp, I miss, and he's +2 Stab Shadow Force, 120 base, so that's what, 180 off the Stab, and the Shadow Plate. So that's like, what, 216, I think? I could be wrong. Someone could do the maths on that. Either way, he completely dumps on my Ho-Oh. So I'll bring in Abednego. I'm like, come on, Abednego. You got this, buddy. Except he has Brick Break. And I was like, I ain't got this. I have not got this. I do go for Reflect, though. But it's irrelevant. Shadow Force takes 2 turns. And I have nothing to switch into a Shadow Force. Apart from Abednego, who now has 13 HP and is kind of fucked. So yeah, well, that's not gone well. So there you go. That's what I've learned. that guy's Excadrill must have been broken or something, I don't know, because it did absolutely nothing. But Arceus, oh, it's good. Abednego does a decent job of sponging it, but the problem is to kill it, I have to go into Ho-Oh and Wisp it, or I need something that can outspeed it, and Arceus has base 120 speed, and I have nothing that outspeeds that. I don't even. If I get a Reflect Up, I suppose I could go into Pedro, Focus Punches, something. Either way, that is good game to whoever the fuck I was playing. It was pretty enjoyable, and I'm actually quite liking Ubers. It's just I have to wait an hour between every battle, because no one plays it! Blah. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Peace.